just shake and tremble. Satan is a old dirty thief, so we mash up your plans with only one sprinkle. If you're feeling pain, the blood of Jesus break every chain and remove our sin. Declare this again and again. The blood of Jesus over your family. Plead the blood over your family. This is what to pray and say in the morning. The blood of Jesus over your family. Plead the blood over your family. This is what to pray and say in the morning. When the Vicks and the bush can't fix this, the blood of Jesus remove all sickness, all asthma and all arthritis. In the name of Jesus we bind it. Jesus is the answer. The blood of Jesus beat out the cancer. Break every chain and remove all stain. Declare this again and again. The blood of Jesus over your family. Plead the blood over your family. This is what to pray and say in the morning. The blood of Jesus over your family. Plead the blood over your family. This is what to pray and say in the morning. When we plead the blood, principalities get trampled. When we plead the blood, generation curse get dismantled. So cover your children and them, your unsafe family members and them. Christ died on the cross for all of them, so start praying for them. The blood of Jesus over your family. Plead the blood over your family. This is what to pray and say in the morning. The blood of Jesus over your family. Plead the blood over your family. This is what to pray and say in the morning. The blood of Jesus for your healing. Cover yourself.
Blessings, and good afternoon to all of you lovely and wonderful listeners of 103.1 FM. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and we are welcoming you again to another episode of Team Family. We are your hosts, Linnell and Adonna. So hi guys, and Adonna, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
All
How are
right,
you?
I'm doing wonderful as well.
Excellent.
All right, so guys, we're both doing well. We're hoping that you are doing well also. All right, so blessed afternoon to you too, Joshua, and to all those of you listening out there, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're listening to us via frequency, wherever and however you're listening. Share this with a friend today. Call somebody and let them know Team Family is on. And you know what Team Family is all about. We're all about building relationships, building bonds in our families, in our marriages. Team Family is all about the family being a team. All right, guys. So as usual, we want you to be a part of our discussion. So feel free to send us your questions, your comments, whatever it is you would like to say. You know, today we're dealing with oral health. All right. Actually, today is World Oral Health Day. All right. And we have a dentist with us. And she'll be doing most.
A dental nurse.
All right. A dental nurse.
Yes.
All right. And she will be doing most of the talking today. So she'll be educating us and telling us a lot about, dental care. And so, guys, again, we are happy to have you. We're happy to be here. So feel free again to send us your comments. Don't forget, you can text us on 403-1031. All right, so we're celebrating World Oral Health Day. So, Adonna, tell us a little bit, what really is World Health Day and why do we celebrate World Oral Health Day?
Okay, well, good afternoon to our viewers. It's really good to be here and to be able to educate the family on oral health, because I think it's a family, oriented issue that, it involves everyone in the family to look after each other and to ensure that we have good oral health.
All right.
All right. So, but for World Oral Health Day, it was launched on March 28th in 2013. So not a very long time.
Okay.
But it was launched by the FDI, the World Dental Federation.
Okay.
And the founder is Dr. Charles Gordon.
Okay.
Who is from France.
All right.
Okay. The whole venture is to unite to help reduce the burden of oral disease, which affect individual health system and economies everywhere.
All right. Okay.
So it affects the economy, it affects individuals and the entire world. Every nation is affected by oral health.
Oh, yes.
And it aims to empower people with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to secure good oral health.
All right. Okay.
Right?
Well, we hear this word. I hear you repeating the word, and for maybe some of the listeners out there who might not be aware of the word or the words oral health. When we say oral health, what exactly are we referring to?
Okay, oral health, according to the WHO, World Health Organization, it's a state of being free from mouth and facial pain, oral and throat cancers, oral infections and sores, periodontal disease, and tooth decay.
Okay.
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 So, and oral health is a human right and an integral part of the general health.
All right.
Yeah, general health.
Okay.
Right. So, just for a little more information, oral disease is a major health concern for many countries and negatively impact people throughout their lives.
Okay.
Right? Oral disease lead to pain, discomfort, and social isolation, and loss of self-confidence, and they are also often linked with serious health issues.
All right. You said something a little serious there. Well, made me think a little bit, because here we are, we're on air, we're live, and we're able to smile, we're able to, but there are some people out there, they possibly don't have that confidence, possibly maybe because there's something up with their teeth, I don't know. It doesn't look healthy, or maybe there's pain, or for whatever reason, people are unable to smile for maybe their family members, for their friends, just being able to freely speak because of oral health.
Yes, it's so much an integral part of your entire health and well-being.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And the theme for this for the next 2 years, it was last year, this year, and next year, is be proud of your mouth.
Oh, okay.
Be proud of your mouth. We are doing this campaign so that people can be proud of their mouth. Okay. They can take a bit more interest in their oral health.
All right. Okay.
It's to encourage, good oral health practices, good oral hygiene, and good oral health also has to do with when you talk about confidence. You don't want to have bad breath.
Right.
And the oral health is not just your teeth, but it's the entire mouth, your soft palate, your hard palate, the lining of your mouth, your tongue.
Okay, all right. Because you just mentioned bad breath a while ago, right? And could you give us maybe just a little into what possibly might cause what we call bad breath in terms of, because as you said, it's very important, and not just for day to day, you want your mouth to smell right. But, there are instances where especially, you're going on an interview, or you have this, something that is really important, and you're in front of people possibly that are not your family members or your friends that see you every day. And that can mean either you get the job or you don't get the job. That can mean either that people connect with you a second time or they don't, because something that we see that might seem very insignificant as your bad breath, oral health.
Yeah, it's a number of issues, a number of factors that can cause bad breath. The scientific name is halitosis.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. So it can be that you have problem. It could be a health problem. Sometimes you have problem with your sinus and dripping in the back of your throat. That can cause bad breath. Poor oral hygiene. If you're not brushing properly and flossing, as regularly as you should, the development of plaque in your mouth and the bacteria and the byproducts from them can cause bad breath.
Okay.
People with diabetes tend to have a kind of bad breath too, and cancers, and
Okay.
Is a number of quite a number of factors that can lead to bad breath.
When you wake up in the morning, is it normal for you to have bad breath when you wake up in the morning?
Well, the thing is, when you wake up in the morning, you might tend to have bad breath, but if you brush your teeth the last thing at night and you do a good mouthwash and gargling, it would not be as bad.
Okay.
But because your mouth is closed all night and so on, you might find bacteria reproduce quick in the environment. But if you don't have food in your mouth and you don't have, it lowers the possibility of you having a very high bad breath in the morning time.
Okay.
A bad morning breath. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So as your mouth closed for a while, you know.
Yeah, but if you brush your teeth last thing before you go
All
to
right,
bed,
as you said,
yes,
mouthwash
and you do a good job, brush your tongue, and you know, you make sure your mouth is well clean, you floss.
All right.
Yeah, you reduce the amount of bacteria.
Okay,
overnight.
nice.
Yes.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
Because even even with the wearing of mask, I find when you have on this mask for this long time, and you tend to find, I find my mouth not feeling fresh, or I don't know if it's just me, or you have on this mask. It's like you're behind this mask for this long time, and I don't know if it's because it's
it's right up at your face, and you're not getting fresh air,
right,
oxygen, and air coming into your mouth to keep it that way. So the covering of your mouth it increase the multiplication of bacteria in your mouth because it's all covered on there. Yeah. So well, thank God we're getting a little deliverance.
Yes. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
All right. So can you possibly maybe give us a little bit of maybe some tips?
Well, I have some statistics that I think
is
very important.
All right, go ahead.
That really encourages global movement, and one of them says that untreated tooth decay was identified in the year 1990 to 2010 as the most common among 291 diseases studied. So tooth decay is one of the most common diseases around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's so right away you said that, and what came to mind to me is that well as you go along, maybe you can tell us, but why? What is it that people are doing or not doing that is causing this to be prevalent? You said it's one of the
leading diseases.
Yes, the leading diseases, the oral health. What possibly are we doing or we not doing as individuals? Is it something? Is it statistics for the entire world, or is it for a particular?
For the entire world.
Okay.
For the entire world. So as I said, it's something we're not doing or something that we're doing. And what we're not doing sometimes could be not practicing good oral hygiene. We don't visiting the dentist as regularly as we should. We are eating too many refined sugary foods. We are not eating healthy, a balanced diet. And so people who snack regular on sugary foods, they tend to have more cavities.
Okay.
Right? And there's quite a number of other practices, things that we are not doing, and things that we are doing. Sometimes we eat too many people, tend to have a craving for sweets. A lot of people tend to have that craving, and that increases the risk of having tooth decay.
Okay.
And the great thing about oral health is the diseases are very much preventable.
All right. Okay.
They are very preventable because all we have to do is practice good oral hygiene, eat healthy for our teeth. I'm not saying that you can't eat something sweet every now and then.
I was just thinking about chocolate, but
but if you're constantly eating those things, constantly, and especially snacking on them, not necessarily eating them like during meal time, but snacking on them, you tend to have, that tooth decay tend to develop.
Okay. And especially, there's one thing to have these little snacks, all right? But having it constantly and then not doing what you're supposed to do.
And not brushing.
Flossing and brushing. Okay.
Yes. And another important thing is visiting a dentist. A lot of people, they wait until they have pain or they have a problem to go to the dentist. But what we encourage is that you visit the dentist every 6 months.
Okay.
You do your routine checks to ensure that you don't have any cavities, that you get your teeth clean to prevent periodontal disease and gingivitis.
Right.
And you do those things, you keep it under control. Right?
Okay. All right. So tooth decay you said is one of the leading diseases. What is there another one that's probably topping the charts there alongside tooth decay?
Well, we have worldwide we have cancers, oral cancers.
Okay.
They are the 8th most common cancer.
All right.
In the world, and in Southeast Asia is the 3rd most common.
All right.
We have periodontal disease. Periodontal disease is another very common disease that affects the oral cavity, affect your teeth, your gums, and your alveolar bone that support your teeth.
Okay, all right. So what, could you explain a little bit about the periodontal disease, if you have more information on the...
Yes, periodontal disease is a disease that affects the tissues that surround the teeth. I have a little model with me, and I want to show it to you.
Okay.
You see, if you look at your mouth, you see just the crown of your teeth, and you see the gums. That's when you're just looking like that, okay?
All right.
But if it's like an X-ray, this is what it would look like.
All right.
Right? And with periodontal disease, it starts with gingivitis, inflammation of the gums along the gum line. This here, you find it starts getting inflamed, and this one shows when it's normal. That's how it looks, nice and pink, and fitting nice against your bone, and it's in healthy condition. But as you get gingivitis and periodontal disease, you find the gums start looking red and puffy.
Okay.
You get bleeding, right? And with periodontal disease, the plaque gets underneath your gum line.
All right.
And it starts eating away at the periodontal ligaments that supports the tooth and hold it onto the bone. It joins the tooth to the bone.
Wow.
So it eats away the periodontal ligament, and eventually it gets to the bone. So when you see it here, normally the bone will be right up by the gum.
Okay.
But if it's eaten away, you notice the picture here, where it's dropping. You're seeing the bone is, and the gum is receding.
Okay.
The gum starts receding. You find you have a lot of bleeding, and you have something you call a pocket that is created because there is no attachment to the gum and the bone anymore. And the tooth can get so loose, as you see here, it
can
will start.
fall out?
Yes, it can start shaking.
Wow.
And you can lose a number of teeth through periodontal disease.
Okay.
And they could be very healthy teeth, no cavities.
Okay.
And you can lose them because of periodontal disease. But periodontal disease can be prevented if you have your regular cleaning. You know what we call a prophylaxis treatment is removal of the plaque underneath your gum line to prevent further deterioration of your bone and your ligaments and so on.
Okay, somebody was asking a question, but I guess you just answered. They were asking, what can you do to fix this?
Right.
So you said...
So when we say get your regular cleaning, we're trying to help you. Right? And also if you brush, you need to brush properly as well.
All right, all right. So, and I'm glad you brought that up, brushing properly, because I'm sure that a lot of people are wondering, I wonder if I just brush my teeth properly. What is the proper way of brushing my teeth? Because, sometimes you're in a hurry, or sometimes, even if you're not in a hurry, but everybody have their different way of brushing their teeth, whether they go across first or they come down, or... Can you give us maybe a little demonstration? I'm not too sure if you have your...
I have my little friend, Miss Linda. Oh! Miss Linda is glad to be with us this afternoon. Right?
Teeth, everybody.
Right. So when you're brushing your teeth, you always need to have a firm grip on your toothbrush, and you always ensure that you brush against the gum line. You see, the gum line is where your teeth, the crown of your teeth and the gum meets. Why I say the gum line? Because a lot of times the plaque tends to settle along there, and then it can cause eventually you can get underneath, down to the bone and so on, all the tissues that support your teeth at the roots. So you hold your toothbrush up against the gum line, and you make very short stroke. Don't just swipe along quick. Make very short stroke up against the gum line. On the outer areas, you do it right around from one side onto the next. Very short strokes. You brush the inner areas. Sometimes a lot of people leave these areas out, the inside areas. And when you get to the front, the back of your front teeth, you hold it like this. You don't hold it like this because you would not be brushing the gum line.
Yeah, I think I just brush my teeth right.
So you hold it like this and you brush it this way. Yeah. And you go right around. And you remember to brush your chewing surfaces.
Right.
That's where you chew your food at the back. You make downward strokes for your teeth on top, because they grow downward. If you brush it back this way, you'll be damaging your gum and also putting back the plaque under there. So you make downward strokes.
Okay.
All right? And for the bottom, you make upward strokes.
All right.
You brush the direction your teeth grow upwards, this way, all the way around. Don't forget to brush the inner areas, right? And the front, the same thing as the top, you brush this way. make sure that you hold your toothbrush vertically and brush out this way at the back of your front teeth. And also remember to brush the inner areas by your tongue.
Nice.
Right?
Okay.
You brush the chewing surfaces, and always remember to brush your tongue. And when you do, you hold your toothbrush horizontally and you slide it along your tongue.
All right.
Don't stick it back there because it might gag. So just hold it horizontally and slide it from the back, right, of your tongue, the dorsal, and all the way to the front, the tip of your tongue. Let it make sure it's nice and pink when you finish.
All right. There are some special toothbrushes that we have out there. Would you recommend any of them? I know there are some that have, there are some. First of all, you have the soft, medium, and hard. And then you have those, those like with the batteries that kind of spin on their own. And then you may have those that have a back part that you can use for your tongue. And there are different types of.
Yes.
Are there any out there that you can possibly recommend, or those that you think don't make any sense?
Right. The ones we recommend is the simple one, just as the one you see I just had there. Soft toothbrush or medium.
Okay.
Don't use a hard toothbrush.
Okay.
The plaque on your teeth is soft.
All right.
Right? So you don't need a hard toothbrush. And when there's a hard substance that forms on your teeth called calculus, whether you buy a hard toothbrush, it would not take it off you. That's why you need to go to the dentist to have it cleaned.
Okay.
Right? So the tartar on your teeth, the toothbrush would not take it out. So what is recommended is a soft or medium toothbrush. And for children, it's a soft toothbrush, but parents are encouraged to brush their children under 10, brush their teeth for them, or supervise their brushing.
All right.
Right? The battery-operated toothbrush, I would not recommend it, especially for children, because you have to be able to have that control and manual dexterity of the development of your muscles in your hand to be able to control and brush. Some people think it's because it looks like the brush that we use at the dental clinic, so they figured we will get a better brushing. But sometimes you'll be missing a lot of areas.
All right.
And they would not be able to brush as well as they would with a toothbrush.
Okay, nice.
So I would say it don't go through that expense of buying a battery-operated toothbrush. The regular toothbrush would be just fine. A soft toothbrush or medium. For some adults, they prefer to feel but medium, not hard.
Okay, great.
Hard toothbrush would damage the gums and damage the enamel.
All right. Okay. Wow. Okay. Good information. Guys, we're talking about oral health today. Today is the day for celebrating World Oral Health Day. So if you have any questions on oral health, if you have any comments that you would like to post, go ahead. You can go ahead and post on our YouTube page, on our Facebook page, or you can text us on 403-1031. We'll be happy to answer your questions once we're able to. And we'll be happy to post or to talk about your comments. All right. I have another, possibly a question, right, regarding flossing. How often should you floss? I know brushing should be done. I'm also asking that. How often should you brush? Should you brush your teeth every time you eat, or should it be done 3 times a day, or how often should you brush and how often should you floss?
What we recommend is that you brush after meals.
Okay.
You brush your teeth after meals because once you eat, the plaque in your mouth get activated, and especially if you have fermentable carbohydrates or sugary things, foods that you eat, it will stimulate the production of acid in your mouth.
All right.
And the acid that is created in your mouth is what starts to decay. Okay. Right? So because it penetrates the enamel and then it's traveled all the way down to the dentine and then to the pulp. If it's not, if it's not, you're not checked early enough, you can end up with a serious problem or even losing your tooth.
Okay.
So, you practice brushing after meals. And sometimes you say, well, at lunch, make it a practice. Walk with a toothbrush, because you might not be home, so you have a little pocket toothbrush that you can brush after lunch, right?
Oh, Lord, you see that day, I think about a friend of mine. Always walking with she toothbrush and spending a good time in the bathroom.
That is good.
All right. She doing a
Yes,
good job.
That's a good job. Yeah, you have to do those practices because it's so easy sometimes that to to develop a cavity. And you say, well, how I'm brushing all the time, and flossing. We recommend that you floss at night before you brush.
Okay, so at night.
Before you brush.
All right.
Why before you brush? Is like when you clean your house, you wipe down your tables and your counter and everything first before you sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would make more sense to brush to floss first. Because if you brush first and then floss, the debris that's and the plaque that you remove will just end up back into your mouth. So it's always better you floss and then you brush, so you remove everything after
All right,
brushing.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was wondering if flossing should be done every single time too, along with the brushing, but
If you're able to, yes, why not? Because it's said that if you brush only and you don't floss, you're only cleaning 60% of your teeth.
Oh, okay.
Because between your teeth is part of your teeth as well.
All right, so if you can, you should.
You should, yes.
Okay, okay. I was just thinking in terms of, because to me, there are persons who have their teeth are close together, and then there are those who you have fairly not wide spaces, but I think I tend to have a little bit more space between my teeth, and I find if I floss too much, I find my gums bleeding every time so.
Yeah,
so,
and the reason why your gums bleeding sometimes, I don't think it's always because you might have been bruising your gum. Sometimes it bleeds because there was plaque between there.
Okay.
And that it will cause inflammation. And we stress that because between your teeth you can develop cavities as well. And also the plaque can get hard and create the same problem which leads to periodontal disease.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So guys, we're talking about oral health today. We want the questions to come in. What do you think about oral health? What are your questions? You may have some comments, some things that you want to know about oral health. We welcome the questions. We welcome your comments today. All right.
Okay, I can give you some statistics. It says 50% of gum disease is caused by tobacco use. 50%, and it's twice as much that smoking will cause you to have more encouraged the development of periodontal disease, even more than if you are not smoking. Okay. So smokers are at more risk for periodontal disease.
Interesting.
Because the smoking encourages the growth of bacteria, and it encourages gum disease, and it is very encourages bad breath. Okay, and all those things. All right. So along with we join with our health faculties to encourage the stop people from smoking and to stop the smoking, and because smoking not just that interfere with your oral health, but it also with your lungs, and it's also a cause of encourages the growth of cancers.
All right.
And so on. So the smoking is very dangerous for your oral health and your general health as well.
Okay, all right. So we're talking about smokers. Are there any other groups of persons who are maybe at risk for certain oral diseases? Are there any groups of persons? But you said about the diabetics already. I think you said diabetics in terms of bad breath.
Pregnant women at risk for the periodontal problem as well because of the prostaglandins that can be produced because of the progesterone. You have progesterone is increased during pregnancy, and you can have it encourages the growth of bacteria. It causes the gum to be puffy and red, especially if you already have an existing gingivitis or periodontal disease, and you don't get you don't check on your oral health during your pregnancy. It is also a risk factor when you're pregnant that the hormones in your body will increase the chances of periodontal disease progressing more.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting facts. All right. So what about the different age groups? So you said pregnant women are at risk. You said the smokers, the persons with diabetes, we spoke about them. But what about the different age groups? Are little children?
Yeah, babies are at risk, especially if they sleep with a bottle and they sleep with a breast, and they're given a bottle as a pacifier.
All right. So
We have this condition called baby bottle syndrome.
So even before they get actual teeth?
No,
Or
when the teeth are present in their mouth,
Okay.
and they have this habit of sleeping with bottle and having the bottle as a pacifier,
Okay.
they're at risk for a severe dental caries. That's the next name for tooth decay.
Okay.
Because of the always constant bombardment of sugary liquids
Okay.
on the teeth.
All right.
So we call it baby bottle syndrome because it's induced by the bottle, as because of the consistent use of the bottle for a prolonged period.
Okay. So is it just the actual formula, or what about children who? Because I know children falling asleep on the breast.
Yes, the breast as well.
Okay.
Because the breast does have sucrose, sugar in it.
So what would you recommend for nursing mothers and so in terms of if children are, because sometimes you can't really, if they fall asleep on the breast, they fall asleep on the breast. Should you, after they fall asleep, try and get a rag or something and
That's provided that you don't fall asleep too. They need to clean their mouth. Make sure they sit up. If it's a small baby, small baby don't have teeth yet, but as they get older and they get teeth in their mouth, you give them a good feed at night. If it's not breast and they reach at the age where they can have porridge and so on, give them a hefty feed so that they won't have to get up in the night for breast.
all right, to fall asleep.
To fall asleep on the breast. And always clean their mouth after you feed them. Always clean their mouth with a rag. And we have a lot of new sophisticated things that you can use. There's this finger brush. You can put your finger in and just clean their teeth and their gum. And so get them into the habit of cleaning their mouth from very young.
All right. Okay, so for the nursing mothers and so, what about the
elderlies as well? The elderly people, especially diabetic and people going through menopause and so on, they tend to have this dry mouth.
Okay.
Some people on certain medication too tend to have this condition called xerostomia, where they don't have enough saliva being produced, and because of the dry condition of their mouth, they develop cavities easily.
Okay. So what possibly is there something that they can do to prevent or to assist or to
That they increase the intake of water.
Okay.
Try to drink a lot more water, eat a lot more fruits
Okay.
and vegetables and tough foods that will encourage the salivary gland to produce more.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So guys, we're waiting on you if you have questions, if you have comments. Today we're talking about oral health. It is World Oral Health Day, and we're here talking with Sister Adonna. She is a dental nurse, so she has a lot of knowledge regarding oral health. So feel free to send us your questions, your comments. You can text us again on Facebook, you can text us on YouTube, or you can text us via WhatsApp. 403-1031 is the number. All right. Okay, so we're talking about oral health. We're talking about some of the things that happen when we don't take care of our teeth, our mouths. What are some of the things generally, let's say from maybe from a school standpoint, from a home standpoint, maybe from the church standpoint, what are some of the things that we can do to make people more aware of their oral health? What part do we have to play in all of this? What are some of the things that we can really do as a community, as even within your own family, as parents? What are some of the things that we can do to assist or to make people more aware of oral health and to help them to do things that will better help their teeth and their mouths, keeping their mouths. What is the theme again?
Being proud of your mouth.
Being proud of
we
your
can do a
mouth.
lot to help people be proud of their mouth. I encourage people to have love to have a beautiful smile because it helps your confidence.
Yes.
So what we're doing now is creating awareness. We can have talks in the churches, we can in the schools, we can have talks. Teachers, right now we working on something where we can, from the children from preschool all the way up, can have information very young about their oral health to make them more aware.
All right, I think we have a caller online, so let me just see if I can take that call. All right, let me see if I can remember how to take the call. Hello? Hello, caller?
I can hear.
Caller, can you hear me? All right, I think we we lost that call. I'm sorry. We lost that call. Caller, you can call back again. All right, just in a bit. All right.
Yeah, so let everybody be a part of it. So it's not just the dental and health workers, but the teachers, parents, encourage healthy eating. Because in doing so, we're not just encouraging good oral health or general health as well. Encourage, the use of fruits and vegetables rather than sweets and sugar, rather than buying packet food or preserved food or already done snacks for our children. Prepare food bowls from the home standpoint. We have fruits in season, and we have fruits that we always can get, like bananas. We have mango season. We have all different fruits. So instead of giving your children a packet of conkles or something like that for break, give them a fruit. In so doing, you're encouraging good oral health. And fruits are they're very full of fibers and natural juices, and rich in a lot of vitamins and minerals, which will help for good and healthy gums and healthy teeth, and for general health as well. Encourage the children to brush or brush for them. Parents take it up as a response, as a practice, to ensure that their teeth are brushed every night, ensure that they brush before they leave school. Put a toothbrush in them, give them a carry-along toothbrush, to go to school with as part of you give them books and notebook, and so put a toothbrush in the back as part of the requirements to go to school, things that they need to go to school with,
All right, I'm getting a call on the line again, so let's see if we can get that call.
Yes.
Good afternoon, caller.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. I want to know about persons who use chewing gums and mints to sit in their breath instead of brushing the teeth properly. What does the dentist have to say about that?
Right. The chewing gum, there are chewing gum that is sugar-free, which might be good to use because it will help to stimulate the salivary glands. But the mints, they are full of sugar. They have a lot of sugar in mint, and even though it is mask the breath, it will not be taking care of the problem, right? So to keep a fresh breath, you need to brush well.
Right.
And floss.
Okay.
Gargle with mouthwash, to keep your mouth clean, because the masking the problem could even create more problem, because the mint especially, it has sugar, which would induce tooth decay.
Okay, that's a good way. Right, good information right there. I would think mint is a good thing, even if I know it's a sweet. I didn't even think along those lines that it's better for the sugar-free gum. All right, okay. All right, so those of you who like to suck your mint to keep your breath clean, you're doing a bad thing for your teeth out there.
True.
So try and stay away from the mints.
Yeah.
All right, good information right there. Some good information. Guys, you can call if you feel led to do so. The number is 403-1031, or you can text us via WhatsApp as well on the same number. Or again, you can post your comments or questions on YouTube or on Facebook. We're talking about oral health today. All right.
Yes, and so we want you to be proud of your mouth. And your oral health is very important because look, we use our mouth a lot, and especially people who have to do marketing and teaching and things, they talk a lot, and our oral health will help to boost our confidence. We want to make sure that we have good breath, we have good teeth, and when we go out there, we want to feel confident. It boosts your confidence. And I would want to stress that because, and your self-esteem, how you feel about yourself when you go out there, right? If you know your oral health is poor, you would not have that confidence to face individual. Also, you don't want to be socially isolated because of how your breath or how your teeth may look.
Right.
You understand?
And that's a problem with a lot of people, and sometimes they're unaware of the fact that they have bad breath. In terms of, as I was saying a little earlier on, the going to an interview, the interviewer might not tell you anything, but we have to be very particular in, having good oral health and taking good care of our mouths. You're going out to an interview, make sure that you brush your teeth properly, brush your tongue properly, make sure that you gargle, do all the extra things that you need to do, floss.
Do all that you can.
All that you can to make sure.
To make sure that you have a fresh breath. And don't be afraid to go to the dentist. A lot of people, they know they wait until they have a problem, first of all, and sometimes they have the problem and they still would not go. They wait until it's really overbearing.
Right.
But you save a lot when you do prevention.
Right. Prevention
is always better than cure, and it costs you less in the long run.
Yes.
Less pain and less on your pocket.
Yes.
Less
stress, less embarrassment.
Less embarrassment. So I want to encourage visiting the dentist twice a year is a good practice. Make it a family. Something that you do for your family.
Right.
You take your children to the dentist. You and your wife go to the dentist. You take your time. You go to the dentist. Get your checkup. Know your status when it comes to your oral health.
Right. I like that. So guys, let's take care of our mouths. We want to be smiling. We want to feel free. You out there and you see somebody, you want to be able to smile back and not, that kind of way. So feel proud and feel proud of I keep forgetting.
Proud of your mouth.
Proud of your mouth. Be proud of your mouth.
When you smile, you have a winning smile.
That's
you
right.
want to be able to. Wow, if people look at you, they say, wow, that's a beautiful smile.
Yes.
And it does a lot for your confidence, So, take a time and just make sure you take care of your health and your oral health and practice good oral hygiene. It's very beneficial for your general well-being, right? And as we are talking about, I cannot stress it more that don't wait until you have a problem to visit the dentist.
Right, very important. I have another question regarding the toothpaste that we use and the mouthwash and all of those various things that we use for cleaning our mouths. Is there a particular, we're not talking brand right now, okay? And I know most, for Grenadians, everything for us is Colgate, but Colgate is a brand.
Right.
All right, but in terms of the ingredients in the toothpaste, what would you recommend and what would you say we should stay away from? But I tend to like toothpaste with baking soda in it. Is that good? Is that what would you recommend that we use on a daily basis, or what should we use maybe every now and again, or what should we, and even in terms of the mouthwash, there are some mouthwash that have a higher percentage of alcohol. There are some that have different ingredients. Are you aware of what we should or should not use?
Yeah. In terms of toothpaste, we always encourage people to use a fluoride toothpaste. But once you look at the label and it says it contains fluoride, use that toothpaste. Because why we stress fluoride, we don't have fluoride in our water in Grenada. We don't, fluoridated salt is not something that we have common that is like mandatory that everybody use fluoridated salt. And we don't have many sources of fluoride. Maybe some fishes we might have fluoride in, but to get the systemic fluoride. But using a fluoride toothpaste every day every time you brush your teeth reduces tooth decay, because the fluoride in the toothpaste hardens the enamel and make it tough and resistant against tooth decay.
Okay.
So fluoride toothpaste, once it has fluoride, you can use any brand once it has fluoride. And well, baking soda is good because it helps with the cleaning and reducing of the bacteria and so as well. So, but the toothpaste generally can reduce the bacteria in your mouth.
Okay.
And in terms of mouthwash, well, if you have one mouthwash for your entire family, you can get a mouthwash that is antiseptic. It kills bacteria and it also has fluoride as well. There are some mouthwash with fluoride on the market right now. Just look at the label when you go to the supermarket or the pharmacy, and you will once it says prevent against tooth decay, it means that it has some fluoride
in it. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So if let's say for the families who possibly cannot afford maybe to buy a mouthwash, or to, there are some families who the mouthwash might be a little too expensive. Is there anything any ingredients that we can use from our own cupboards that we can possibly use for as alternative?
Yes, you could use salt water.
Okay.
You could put a teaspoon of salt in some water.
Okay.
And use it as a mouthwash. And especially if you have a salt that has fluoride in it, which is good. And the salt also helps to kill bacteria in your mouth. So you can use salt water.
So simple salt
or hydrogen
water.
peroxide. If you have hydrogen peroxide, you mix it with some water. Put half. If you put, let's say you put 1 ounce in a glass, about a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons in a glass, you put 2 teaspoons of water, half and half. Right?
Okay.
So it just to balance so it wouldn't be too strong, because hydrogen peroxide also helps to kill the anaerobes in your mouth, the bacteria that cause gum disease.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if we can't afford to buy the expensive mouthwash, we can do our salt water, or we can use the hydrogen peroxide.
And for the pregnant mothers who vomit in regular, like morning sickness and so, because you're constantly throwing up, the acid, the stomach fluid is acid, hydrochloric acid in your stomach, can damage your teeth.
Okay.
So what we advise that they put a teaspoon of baking soda in a 8-ounce glass of water as a mouthwash to rinse and to get rid of the acidic, taste and the acids in your mouth, to kind of balance it back.
Okay, nice. Okay.
And we encourage, we say that they should not brush immediately after vomiting, because if they do that, they could damage the enamel. So you just rinse with a baking soda mouthwash.
Okay, you said something there that brought back something I think I read some time ago regarding certain juices that you drink. It might not be recommended that you brush right away after drinking certain acidic, like citruses and so.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, because the acid tend to break down the enamel, even though enamel is a very hard substance. It's one of the hardest. Is after diamond is one of the hardest. It's the hardest substance in your body, actually.
Okay.
But the acidic environment would demineralize the enamel. It would break it down. Right, so brushing right after you can additionally erode the enamel, brush away and damage it.
Okay.
So, as we say, you try and create a neutral environment where you use a baking soda, or you just rinse your mouth, because if you brush immediately, it's not balanced, so that the ions, is not balancing to create that proper environment for your tooth. The structure of your enamel, when you brush immediately, you would so erode it even more than if you just leave it for a while. Use something that would balance it back to the neutral state, so that it would not damage the enamel, right? Because there's a lot of dynamics that goes on with your saliva, your enamel, and the acid and alkaline and also the neutral state of your mouth.
All right, interesting. We have a question from another listener. What can be done to reduce dentures from causing bad breath? Because we know a lot of elderly folks are using dentures. So what can they do to prevent bad breath when they use dentures?
Well, they have different mouthwashes and so on the market, and also fluids that you can put your denture in to keep it clean overnight, so you don't sleep with the denture. You put it in a glass of water, clean water, boiled water, cool boiled water, or if you have the mouthwash that the dentist recommend for you to use, you put it in it also to prevent bacterial growth on your denture.
Okay. And do they have, okay, so that's the actual denture, but in terms of the,
Well,
I don't know how it works. because I don't
you
use
use your
dentures,
regular
but-
mouthwash and so on, in your mouth as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So we have information for the smallest one, the babies, the toddlers growing up, and everybody. All right. So even the oldest person out there using dentures. So you got a little bit of tips today to help you out with your oral health. I'm hoping that every single person got something or learned something today about oral health. As we said at the beginning, today the world celebrates World Oral Health Day, and our dental nurse, sorry, all right, Sister Donna shared a lot of information this afternoon on how you can really care for your mouth so that your mouth can be happy, so that you can be happy. All right, so I'm hoping that everybody was able to gain something from our discussion today. Again, just for the last minute or so, if you still have a question or a comment that you would like to share, we would like to hear from you. All right, I have one other question here. Sorry, I didn't see this other question. It says, what would you recommend someone use? When would you recommend someone use braces? And should an adult get braces?
Okay, in terms of braces, there's a specialty in dentistry called orthodontist. That to know whether you need braces or not, you need to consult with an orthodontist. And sometimes your dentist may refer you to an orthodontist, especially if you have a major crowding in your mouth. Crowding meaning that your teeth are not well aligned. They hardly have space for them to grow properly. So in that case, you would need to get to see an orthodontist who would recommend the braces, and also little children. Once if you don't have all your permanent teeth, remember it's 2 sets of teeth you have. We don't recommend braces for little children. It's not recommended for children with just the baby teeth. You have to change all your baby teeth first.
Okay, all right.
So by the age of, they say by 14, you have all your permanent. You have most of your permanent teeth because you're still waiting on your wisdom teeth. And you have the crowding problem, then you would need to see the orthodontist.
Okay, so once you have all of your
And it's also recommended that children, before they turn 7, see an orthodontist, because in that way you can help them to preventing having all those issues that can cause, crowding and so on in your mouth. So to prevent having to have braces later on, if you see the orthodontist by age 7, they can make necessary recommendation for preventing having to use braces.
Okay, wonderful. All right. So a lot of information, guys, a lot of information on your oral health. Again, I hope that we all learned something today. Again, if you have any last questions or comments, you are free to send them in within the next minute
The
or
other
so.
part of the question asks is, should adults get braces?
Yes.
If they need it, yes.
All right.
Yes. Yes.
All right, guys. So again, it was a beautiful and wonderful discussion this afternoon. Donnie, any last words to share with our audience before we leave?
Yes, on this World Oral Health Day, we just want to remind you to, remember to brush 3 times a day, brush after meals. Remember to floss. Okay, just remind us. Remember to see your dentist twice a year, every 6 months. Yes. Right? Avoid eating too many candies. And if you do, have it along with your meals. And, make sure that you don't wait until you have pain to see the dentist. Okay. Practice regular visits to the dentist, and eat healthy for your teeth.
All right, so we'll be smiling and feeling confident when we smile. All right, when we take care of our teeth, when we take care of our gums, when we take care of our mouths. All right, guys. So again, it has been a pleasure. This has been another episode of Team Family. Again, we really appreciate your time and listening. Keep it locked to 103.1 FM. We have great programming, 24 hours of programming every single day. So keep it locked. If you have not yet subscribed, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can subscribe. You can like us on Facebook as well. All right. We always have good programming. So keep it locked and have a great afternoon. Bye, guys. Have a great week.
Bye.
Hey, you can't touch me. Lucifer, you can't touch me. Furthermore, take your filthy hands off me, family. The blood of Jesus over your family. Plead the blood over your family. This is what to pray and say in the morning. The blood of Jesus over your family. Plead the blood over your family. This is what to pray and say in the morning. When you're under the blood, them demons will shake and tremble. Satan is a old dirty thief, so we mash up